Compare fractions. Compare the fractions using an inequality sign. An inequality sign is shaped like this or like this. This one is the lesser than sign. This one is the greater than sign. They open up to the larger of the two items that we are comparing. We are comparing 31/14 to 35/16. The best way to do this is to have a common denominator so that the two items we are comparing have the whole divided into the same number of sections. To do this, we are going to find the least common multiple, or the smallest multiple in which both 14 and 16 will evenly divide into. In this one, the answer is 112. If this is not familiar or is confusing to find for you, then we can just find any common multiple. It doesn't have to be the least of them, and we will do it in both ways. For the first one, the least common multiple of 112, that means that we need to divide or multiply 31/14 by 8 so that we get the denominator to be 112. 14 times 8 is 112, and then 31 also times 8 gives us 248. It is an equivalent fraction. On the right-hand side, we have 35/16, and 16 multiplied by 7 will give us 112, which means we also need to multiply the numerator by 7, and 35 times 7 is 245. Now that these have a common denominator, I can make a comparison much more easily. So I'm really comparing the two fractions, 248 over 112 compared to 245 to 100 or 112ths. Now I can give a comparison with our inequality. In this case, 248 is larger than 245, and so we use a greater than sign. Now this is if you could find the least common multiple. If you were unfamiliar with finding the least common multiple, or this is not something that you are familiar with finding, we can just find any common multiple. And in doing this, we can simply multiply 14 and 16 together, or the two denominators, which makes finding it much, much easier. This means on the left-hand side, I will multiply both the top and the bottom by 16. And on the right-hand side, I will multiply both the top and bottom by 14. This gives us a common denominator of 224. Also giving us the equivalent fractions so that we can compare the numerators. 16 times 31 is 496. 14 times 35 is 490. And since 496 is larger than 490, we still use the greater than sign.